do whatever, but I'm not going to take the card.
What would I do?
It's fine,
Just yeah.
All good?
Okay.
Okay, great. So, how would you characterise your relationship with James Hunt?
James was a quick guy in these days. He was a big competitor. He was tough to beat, so there was no friendship, basically. All we tried to do is fool each other to win. But I had respect for him. This is the most important, because when you drive alongside him 1 centimeter wheels to wheels, and then the corner comes, you need to worry. And James was a guy you could respect, and it was the other way around, the same thing. So there was respect, but no friendship.
And what was it like for you watching the film?
Interesting, because when I was fighting for my life, the hospital, the whole thing, how I looked after the race, when people were shocked to see me again, this kind of thing I could not understand in these days, and I thought it was very unpolite and hurting the way they look at me. But when I saw the movie the first time, I understood why the people looked so funny at me, because I really looked terrible. So I have a little bit of more, let's call it, understanding for this unpolite behavior.
And how did you help Daniel? Did you work with him?
He came to Vienna to meet me, and he said, I asked him, how is it to play me? He said, very difficult, because you're alive, and people see you in television, they know how you speak your Austrian language, English, and he had to do a real big job, because as a German, for a German to speak Austrian is tough. But I tell you, when I saw him in the movie, the first 5 minutes, I thought it's unbelievable what he could recuperate out of me in his own role there in the movie. It's outstanding.
I thought he was fantastic as well, really, really fantastic. Do you think there's camaraderie between drivers these days?
I think it's still the same. They're not really friends. It's much easier today because it's not dangerous anymore, like in the old days. So the guys are younger, they are 21, 22 years old, they are world champions. So there's more, they speak more to each other and respect each other in a way. But driving on the limit is still the same problem today, there's no question. But the whole approach in Formula One, they are not so charismatic as we had to be. We were older and we've been through many more problems to get there. It's a different development in Formula One, but I think it's very good that it's safe and working out very well.
Sebastian Vettel he's been getting a lot of trouble recently, people calling him arrogant and a bit kind of charmless. Do you think he's changed, or...?
I think Sebastian Vettel is like a little kid. He talks with every journalist. He's very friendly. I think the other way around. Kimi Räikkönen, I think, he could be one of the old guys. You know what I mean? Out of my time, if he would speak a little more. But Kimi speaks very little, but he doesn't care about anything. He just goes his own way, which we had to do. But I think Sebastian is very good. Hamilton is very good. I mean, Lewis is communicating well, Rosberg is. I think they're all in different breed of racing drivers, but I like them.
And how do you think Hamilton settled in at Mercedes? Because obviously it was a big change for him.
Very well, I have to say. I mean, I got him over to Mercedes. It was my first job when I became the chairman of the board. And Lewis settled in very well. I mean, I think I have the strongest drivers in the field today with Lewis and Nico, because they're about the same level, fighting each other. And he's doing a very good job, and he won the Budapest race, which was a very difficult race to win.
How different do you think it is today?
Easier. It is easier, generally speaking, because drivers don't have to worry about safety or danger, because there is no danger, and for 20 years now, nobody got killed. So normal human being, if nothing is happening, that are not thinking about it. Our problem was that every year 1 or 2 got killed. So even if we didn't think about it, we saw it happening. And therefore we were under much more pressure. Today it's much easier, but to drive on the limit with these cars, fight each other and win, this is still the same problem like in our times.
That's perfect. That's everything I need. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. It's a
Thank you.
pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much.